Hey everybody, I hope you all are having a wonderful week so far. I chose to do something a little bit different with the video this week in that I actually reached out to all of you guys and asked for your suggestions or just what you guys most wanted to see or had questions about. And the overwhelming majority seem to pertain to motivation. Motivation to eat healthy, motivation to exercise, motivation to continue to exercise, motivation to get through plateaus. So since there's kind of multi-levels to, I think, really what's behind motivation and what keeps you going, I'll probably do a series and start out with just kind of a simple basis and then build upon from there, because I think I've talked a lot about how much the mind is underutilized and how much of a role it plays not only while you're exercising but in all of the rest of your day and your motivation to exercise, what happens after, what happens in between. The psychological side of things has such a huge impact, and so I'll just kind of get started today on the basis of what I think is behind motivation, and a lot of that has to deal with confidence and just building a self-worth that makes exercise feel worth it. It's not very much fun, nor is it enjoyable to exercise and work really hard with something that you don't value very much. So starting to find things that deserve confidence and deserve your pride and deserve value, and really starting to build that up just as much as you really break yourself down. I mean, let's face it, we're humans and we all have endless amounts of things that are flawed, both inside, out, up one side, down the other. And I think it's really easy for us to get solely focused in on all of the negatives and the things that we wish were different. And while I think that that's important to a degree and be aware of areas where you're striving to grow, I think sometimes as humans we let it break us down and work against us. And I think that that definitely pertains to exercise and motivation. I know that building confidence and building a higher self-worth is easier said than done, and so I've kind of picked two things that I can give you guys to work on, or two little exercises that you can keep in mind that actually do make the process a little bit easier. And you'll find that when you start to truly give value to all of the different features and parts of you that deserve that value, focusing on all of the things that really deserve attention and all of the positive things that you possess, it makes working out so much more enjoyable. Everything is just so much more positive. You feel like you're taking something that already has value, and it's worth putting the time and effort in to get even more back and continue to grow. And then you're focusing on the progress and becoming healthier, as opposed to trying to strive for something that you're trying to change, or something that you don't like, or something that you're waiting to be different. It's just so much more of a positive place to be, and mentally I think it makes a huge difference. The first is actually something that incorporates a little bit of my yoga background, something that I found very helpful. So simply taking 5 minutes out of your day, doesn't matter at what point in the day. It could be done at work, it could be done before you go to bed at night, it could be done first thing in the morning when you wake up, maybe a little power nap in the middle of your day. Take just 5 minutes where, and there's dual benefits to this, 5 minutes where you just relax somewhere, sitting up or lying down, and you're just focusing on breathing. So it's a basic breathing exercise. So many people don't breathe efficiently throughout their day, and so in another beneficial sense, you're kind of retraining your body how to breathe properly. Take a little bit of time every day just to truly fill your lungs, use your lungs' fullest capacity, and getting into the habit of simply oxygenating your body more efficiently. So you're doing that. At the same time that you're breathing, I want you to just skim over all of the things that there are to feel content with, things that you can be proud of, things that other people probably do notice, but you don't take the time to notice. It's funny, others can notice positive things about you, but you have problems only noticing the negatives. So taking the time to really focus in on all of the good things that you already possess, and taking a couple moments and a couple of deep breaths to truly feel good about that. In areas where maybe you have a lot of insecurities, and thinking about it a little bit differently. Maybe you shouldn't feel as insecure as you do, or judge yourself as harshly as you do. Just take a little bit of time to think nothing but positive thoughts. And if the negative starts to creep in and you start to think about things that you're insecure about, just push it back out and bring back in the positive mental track. It makes it a lot more accessible if you take the time to go over these things in your mind. And it's just easier to grasp onto throughout the rest of your day and also while you're working out. So number 2, the second thing that you can do that I find really helpful, and I'm going to go ahead and risk sounding a little bit preachy with this, but I found really beneficial, so I'm going to throw it out there anyway. And I would challenge everybody to really evaluate the way that you perceive and judge others. Everybody, people that you meet at random, acquaintances, friends, family, your spouses, your significant others. It's funny how as humans we're so quick to unfairly judge other people and pick out the negatives. And I know they say that humans do that in a sense so that we're kind of building ourselves up in a way by breaking other people down, and picking out negative things about other individuals somehow lifts us up a little bit. But what's funny is that that's not really what happens at all. If you stop and think about it, it doesn't really leave you feeling very good. It's human nature to judge. We can't help it. We do it all the time. It is how we evaluate things and then make decisions. But how we choose to view is something that we have more control over than what people often realize. Just taking the time to be kind with how you view others can end up really helping to facilitate how kind you are with yourself. And those two things end up being really similar and playing pretty closely together. There ends up being kind of dual levels and different things that dovetail off of that as well that can be beneficial. And there's a little part of us in the back of our head that assumes that everyone else is thinking and doing as we do, that there's that similarity there. So when you're someone that is really quick to harshly judge somebody and pick out the negative, there's this little part of us that assumes that everyone else is doing that with us, which then facilitates being a lot more self-conscious, a lot more aware of your insecurities, and wondering if people are picking you apart that way. It just lends to overthinking how people view you. And we're all human in that we care what other people think. I think it's so silly when people are really aggressive with how much they don't care what anybody thinks of them. It doesn't make any difference. They couldn't care any less. It doesn't matter. They post on Facebook all the time about how they don't care. It has no effect on them. Does anybody else think that it's a little bit funny that they're so aggressive with making sure that people don't think that they care what they think? Are you seeing the irony there? I'm going to leave that one alone, but I always find that a little bit amusing. It's okay. We all care what people think of us, and it can be used in a positive sense, and then I think it keeps us on our toes as far as striving to be the best us that we can be. But it can also take a negative turn, and we can let it kind of pick us apart and become more self-conscious than what's needed, and it really ends up enhancing all of our insecurities. So then it becomes negative in that sense, and this is something you can do to kind of offset that. The more that you do it, the more you'll find that you don't really think so much about what others think of you, because you're assuming that they're thinking good things and that they're picking out all of the positive attributes that you have. whether they are or not doesn't really matter. So I hope you guys take the time to not only do the breathing exercise, and it's doubly beneficial in that you're helping train your body to breathe more efficiently and get out of the bad habits that we pick up throughout the day as far as shallow breathing and holding our breath, but also taking the time to really give yourself credit where credit is due and all of the things that you should value about yourself. In addition, I hope you also kind of try to take a look at how you perceive others and the choices you make as far as what you choose to focus in on, and just being kind and patient with everybody else, and see how that affects how kind and patient you are with yourself. I hope you guys have a wonderful, happy, healthy, blessed week, and I'll see you guys really soon. Bye.